Hello everyone. Good afternoon and happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. And you are so much welcome to this session. You're welcome to this session. Right now, I'm live on Instagram. I'm live on Instagram and I'm live on TikTok. If you're joining me from anywhere, I just want you to say hello. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyekon, and I'm also known as Toyin. I'm also known as Toyin, Tohyeen. That's my musical name. Yes, so if you're joining me from anywhere, I just want you to say hello. I want you to say hello. Yes, where are you joining from? Can you tell me where you are joining me from? What part of the country, what part of the world are you joining me from? Yes, what part of the world are you joining from and what parts? Yes, and yeah. So if you're joining me from anywhere, I want you to tell me where you're joining from. I want you to tell me where you're joining from. Where are you joining from? Yeah, thank you so much, CM Beauty Studio. Thank you so much for joining there on Instagram. I can see you there. I can see you there. Yes, I'll just wave back to you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So just wait for a few, we'll wait for a number of people. And the reason why I'm doing this live this afternoon, I know it's a Sunday afternoon, and most of the time, after church like that, I just like to eat my Sunday rice and then sleep. Because that afternoon sleep has a way of it has a therapeutic feeling. It has that thing that it does to your body in such a way, it's just so relaxing. Okay, all right, so why am I here? I'm here to talk to, most especially, emerging emerging artists. So if you're a singer, or you are if you're a singer and you've been singing and you're intending to, go into professional music recording, if you're anticipating, or you're preparing yourself to, put a song out there, this is for you. Or you already have a song out there. It could be just one song. It could be maybe your brother or your sister, or it could be a cousin of yours that has a song out there. If you know anyone that has released one song or the other, this session is for them. So I just want to talk to emerging artists, people that have, you have, it will definitely be in two categories. It's either you are an intending music artists, like, okay, you're planning to release a song, you're planning to do a song, you're planning to release a music content, a professional music out there, or you already have one or two songs out there. So if that is you, this session is for you. And if if you are not, if you don't have a content out there, if you don't have, yeah, thank you so much for joining me on TikTok. I can see a lot of people joining there. Thank you so much for, joining me today. If you don't have a song yet, and you know someone that has a song, or two there, please send this live invite to them, or call them and let them know that, this session is on. So I'm just going to share some of my experiences, as an artist, as a singer, as a professional singer, as a singer. I'm going to share a bit of my journey with you, and I'm going to share some of the things, some of the tips, or some of the things that I've done. Some of them I wish I had done them earlier. Some of them, in retrospect, I'm just thinking, okay, I wish I could have done them better, or things like that. So my name is Toyin, and yes, my name is Toyin, and I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm also a worship leader. You can search up my name as Tohyeen. Tohyeen. Yeah, that's my musical name, and you can check out my profile on any digital music stores. You can check out my profile on any digital musical stores with that name. Okay, I have about almost 10 songs. Yeah, I think about 9 or 10 songs that have released, and my first song was released in 2019. Yes. So I mean, invariably I have about 5 years experience of professional music. I've been in music professionally for about 5 years, 5 good years now. And I want to believe that 5 years is no joke. If you've done something consistently for 5 years, or if you've been into something for 5 years, then I don't think that you're still new to that thing. Yes, there might be some information that would still come to you, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is still new, but it's not like it's going to be a new world, an entirely new world to you. Right. So, I've done music professionally for 5 years, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I believe that emerging artists are supposed to put in place. So when it comes to one thing I've noticed, or one thing, yeah, I'll just use the word notice, that I've observed when it comes to music, right? And sometimes this comes as a shocker, so to say, as a shocker to most people, to some singers, who just believe that, once you release a song, most people just believe that once you release a song, that song will just blow, and then you are everywhere. People will know you. People will start talking about you. That word blow. We use that word blow in Nigeria. Like, you become so famous, you become so popular. People begin to sing your song everywhere. Yes, while that happens, that could happen, but it's the probability of it happening is about ratio 1 to 100. When it comes to music, doing music professionally, most of the time your first song might not even be heard. Your first song might not, people might not even know, people might not even hear about your first song. But what your first song is supposed to do, it's supposed to give you that leverage, that platform to say, okay, now, it's like you talking to yourself that, okay, now I am now a professional singer. I am now a professional artist. That's what your first song, in fact, like the first couple of songs that you release, that's what it's supposed to, that's the mindset that you're supposed to have when you have your first two songs. So most of the time, as a professional singer or as a music artist, your first or the first two songs might not even blow. It might not even, reach as much people as you thought. But hear me, I'm taking you on a journey. I'm taking you on a journey. While you're building, the first one or two songs that you release is to create that, like I said, it's to create that platform for you where you begin your journey as a professional. Right? Now it's as if the first two song is telling you, oh, now welcome to the world of professional music. What that is going to do to you is that it's going to give you some access. And I'm going to discuss about those access. I'm going to discuss about those access with you. I want you to stay with me. So while you're preparing, while you're preparing yourself to blow, because like I said, the first two songs might not even blow. But while you're waiting, while you're preparing yourself, what should you do? While you're waiting for that moment where you would blow, for that moment where you think, oh, people will start singing your song, people will start knowing you, people will start hearing you and hearing about your name or whatever. In fact, let me even say this, this just dropped in my mind. There are so many singers that people don't know their name, but people know their songs. So sometimes your song might move faster than even your name. Your songs might go where your name has not even gone to. Yeah, so but that's another that's another gist for another time. Now, while you're waiting for your song to blow, to be globally sung, while you're waiting to be globally celebrated, what should you do? What are the things that you need to put in place? I'm not going to be telling you everything, but I want to share these 5 tips. I'll be sharing these 5 tips with you. Number 1, perhaps your first song or your second song was not properly done, because that's what happens to most singers. I mean, I'm not talking about everybody now, but most people, most singers, their first song might not be well produced. It might not be handled. Yes, definitely. Most of the time, we don't get to use the best producers. Yeah, because you might not, depending on your budget and all of that. Yeah, so your budget might affect who produces your song, who you work with, and all of that. But the first song, your first song might not be well produced. However, please listen to this. Your second song must be better than the first. Your second song must be better produced, must be better written, must be better composed, must be better arranged than your first song. So, right, while I'm still speaking generally, I'll try a bit to, be more specific. Right now I'm speaking to gospel musicians, while I'm still speaking to, other musicians, if you're here with me. The word of God says that we should move from glory to glory. Your second song must not be worse than your first song. Your third song must not be worse than your first song. So there must always be an improvement. So if it takes you to work with a better producer, to work with, a better arranger, for you to do better justice to your songs in the way you write them, in the way you compose them, in the way you arrange them, you must put that in place when you're dealing with the rest of your songs. So that's number 1. Write and record high quality music. And this is the reason why you have to do that. This is the reason why you have to do that. You see, when it comes to music, there are some songs that it is 10 years after you have produced them, 10 years after you have released that song, that particular song is going to blow. It is 10 years or 5 years after you have released that song is going to reach out. So, and when your time is now ready, when people have known you and they go back to listen to your songs, the first song, the second song that you released, what will they hear? That's the question you need to ask yourself. What will they hear? I'll use myself as an example. My first song, there was a situation with that song. It's a very, very long story. I'm not going to go into it, but I'll just, summarize everything. But what I'm trying to say is that song was not produced properly. But I went ahead and released that song. It went on all blogs. It went on all social platforms. And then about a year later, I realized that, no, I shouldn't have released that song the way it was. No, I shouldn't. So what I did was that I had to, work with another producer and started that song all over again as if I've never done it before. So I reproduced the song and redistributed it. I had to pull down that first release. I had to pull it down. However, there was still a trace. There's still a trace of it. If I tell you the name of the song, you'll go and search it up. I don't want you to search it up. You'll go and search it up and you will find that first release. But I don't want you to do that because I don't want it to come up on the search engines again. So, that's the reason why I'm saying that when you're looking at your productions, make sure that what you are releasing is top notch, is the best that you can afford. Now, while I'm not saying that we should go and break banks, for our production, there are still some music producers in this world, in this time, that are very, very considerate and they do justice to your song. I've had experiences of paying a producer a higher amount for a song, and then the quality I got for that song was not even as much as what I got for another producer that I paid half of the amount I paid the other person. So it's just about you being favored or being, the world would say, lucky to get somebody that is good and yet considerate. If you want me to share with you the name of that producer, the name of the producer or the producer that I'm talking about that is considerate, I'll do that. He didn't tell me to do this. I'm not doing it for anything. But if you want me to share it, just say it in the comment and I'll drop it. So that's the first thing. Number 2, I'll say that again. Number 1 is write and record high quality music. Number 2, once you have released your first music and you have distributed it. So when I say distribute, there are distribution platforms, and an example is DistroKid, Ditto Music, I've forgotten this other name now. Yeah, DistroKid, Ditto Music. Oh God, why did I forget this now? Yeah, but if you search online for distribution, music distribution platform, it will bring up the names of some of these organizations that distribute music for you. So what they do is, once you have submitted your song to them, they take your music and put it on every digital music stores like Spotify. They submit it to Spotify for you. They submit it to iTunes, to Apple Music, to Deezer, to Boomplay. They take it to they just recently started distributing to Audiomack. Audiomack is in Nigeria or West Africa. They just, it's about 150 to 100 of them. So there are lots of music, digital music stores. So what this distributing companies does is that they take your music from you and then they distribute them to those channels. So once you release your first song, and they put your music, they take your music to Spotify, to Tidal, to Boomplay, to Apple Music, to wherever, Amazon Music, and all of that. Each of those music platforms, for example, Spotify, for example, Boomplay, would create a profile. They call it the artist profile. They call it artist profile, ARTIST, artist profile. Now, what you need to do once you have distributed your first song, your second song, you don't even need to wait for the second song. With the first one, all of those digital stores would have created an artist profile for you. You need to go into each one of them and claim your artist profile. You need to go into them one by one to claim your artist profile. So once you claim those artist profiles, which will definitely be yours, you will go, okay, let me just say, you go to their website or online. For each of them, they have, let's take for example now, Apple Music or Spotify. Apple Music, I know most of us have the normal app where you stream music, where you stream Spotify music. However, apart from that app, there is another app by Spotify for artists. So it's called Spotify for Artists. So that's what you will look out for. Spotify for artists. You will look for Apple Music for artists. You will look for Deezer for artists. You will look for Boomplay for artists. All of that. So whichever channel or whichever platform you are on, just search for the artist platform for that platform. So that's what you will do. And once you're there, just search your name. Search for your name, and once you search for your name, Once you search for your name, it will bring up your profile, and then it should ask you, do you want to claim this profile? Do you want to claim this artist profile? Just say yes. It will ask you for a few information about, probably they could ask you to send like an ID just for you to verify, just for them to be able to verify who you are, to be sure that you are the right person that owns the profile and all of that. So, all of that details will be asked of you. And once they verify that you are the one, they would release the profile for you. So what you need to do once you've gotten access to that profile, what you need to do is you need to upload your bio. You would, definitely upload your bio, your picture, your profile pictures and all of that. And then you start engaging with your fans from there. So for example, now if you go on Spotify or any of this digital music platform and you search my name, If you search my name, Toyin, Tohyeen, you will see that my profile will come up to you. My profile will come up to you. You will see my picture. You will see some things about me. You would see my bio and all of that. There are things that I had to put up there. So it's whatever I put there that you would see. So the same thing happens when you edit your profile, when you edit your artist profile. Whatever you put there is what is what your fans would see. Okay, so that's the second thing. Make sure you go ahead and claim your artist profile on all digital platforms. If you don't claim it, it will just be there. And when people want to engage with your music, there won't be that interaction. It's as if that profile is dead. Yeah, it will look to them as if that profile is dead. Nothing is happening. So there won't be any reason for them to hang on to your music. Right, so that's the reason why you have to make sure that your bio, your profile on all those platforms are live and attractive. Yeah, and also thirdly, you have to make sure that you start learning how to do things by yourself. As an emerging artist, some people would say as a young artist, but I love to say as an emerging artist. So emerging, like, you're just coming up. Some people would say upcoming artists. I don't like to say upcoming because, it sounds, demeaning to me. You're emerging. That's, EMERGING. Yeah, emerging. You're an emerging artist. So as an emerging artist, you are not, most of the time, it's not like you're being sponsored. It's not like you have somebody that is, you don't have a record label that is backing you up, that is doing that will do things for you. So you have to start learning how to put things in place. You have to learn a lot of things. You have to learn how to do a lot of things. I'll tell you, in the past 5 years, I can't even imagine how many things I have learned to do by myself. Nobody taught me how I would go into all my artists' profile to claim my profiles on all those digital stores. I had to learn. I had to teach myself to research. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I go about this? And that's the way I kept learning, kept improving myself, kept putting things in place. Because as an emerging artist, you have a lot to do. Trust me, you have a lot to do. If you don't have a record label doing stuff for you, doing music professionally is not a joke. It's not a joke. I was talking to somebody some times ago, and I'm like, you see, when you see Frank Edwards, or you see Minister Sinach, and you see them in all their glory, working and all of that. These people, I'm not sure they ever worked with any record label. Yeah, they never worked with any record label, yet they were able to put things together. They were able to put systems and processes together, because without you doing some basic things, even when a record label comes, they would look at you as a great work. They would look at you like you're not ready. Yeah? So back to what I'm trying to say, you have to learn how to do things by yourself. Learn how to do things by yourself. For example, you could learn how to make lyrical videos. You could learn how to make lyrical videos. One of the songs that I just released, Etobi, that was the last one. I released it in July, I wasn't really ready to do the official videos, because I I've had a number of official videos, but for this particular song, I was not really ready to do an official video, and I was just like, okay, if I could do a lyrical video. Meanwhile, about 3-4 years ago, I gave out that project. I gave out a project of lyrical video to someone, and by the time it came back, I wasn't even impressed at all. I was not impressed at all. I didn't like what he did for me. I really post that lyrical video. So I told myself, I said, I'm going to learn how to do this thing. If you go and watch Etobi on YouTube now, yeah, the lyrical video is on YouTube. You would say I did that lyrical video by myself. Nobody else did. It took me about 2 days to do that lyrical video. I could have paid somebody. So, I mean, the reason why you have to learn to do things for yourself is because it's also going to save you a lot of money. It's going to save you a lot of money. 2 years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, I entered in for a training on production, on music production. Right now, if I want to record myself, in fact, the songs, I recorded, I produced, there were 3 songs I worked on this year, at the beginning of this year. I've released only 2 of them. I'm going to release the 3rd one before December, before the end of this year, by God's grace. Those 3 songs were recorded in my home studio. Those 3 songs, they were recorded in my home studio. If you listen to them, you will think I went into a professional, like, a real studio to record those songs. And I'm talking about Kabiosi. If you know those songs, Kabiosi, and I think Kabiosi, I did a reel on that this afternoon. Kabiosi and Etobi, those 2 has been released already. You can go listen to them. If I didn't have that production knowledge, I would have paid about maybe £15 per hour, £15 per hour for a session, and I'm going to book about maybe 6 to 8 hours. I want you to do the math and see how much it has saved me. And most of the time, when it comes to recording, your song for production, if you record the first time, you might not like the first recording you did, and you would sometimes you just feel like, no, I think I could do better on this part, and then you would want to go back into the studio. But because I had all these things, I had some studio equipment. I've set up a little home studio for myself at home. I know how to work with DAW and all of that, DAW. I know how to work with DAW and all of that. It was just seamless for me. In fact, by the time I was sending my raw file, to the producer, he was like, did you actually go to the studio to record? I said, no, I didn't. I recorded it at home. I had already edited what I wanted him to work on. All he did was that he just did what he has to do. I've already finalized the parts that I wanted and all of that. I've forgotten what particular word I should use for that now. So, I don't want to stay too long on that. So please learn how to do things by yourself. The last example I would like to state about this aspect of learning how to do things by yourself. You could also learn how to make a blog for yourself. Some people don't even know how to set up their link tree. As an emerging artist, how would you not have a link tree? How would people know? How would people access information about you? You have to learn how to set up your link tree. In fact, you have to even learn how to set up your own mini website. I had to learn how to set up my mini website. I have a website. If you go on my bio, any of my social media profile, if you go on my bio, you would see my website there. That would be mybio.toyin.org. I did all of that by myself, and I learned how to do it. You know, if I wanted to pay somebody for all of that, it would, I mean, it will be some few pounds, which I have already saved myself. It's going to take a lot of time from you, but once you know it, and you can even earn money from there. Those are ways by which you can also fund your music. You can learn something, you can learn how to do something, and then earn money to fund your music from there. So, I mean, you don't need to wait for a record label to come and sponsor you. You don't need an uncle or an auntie. You don't need to depend on anybody to come and sponsor your production. Why? Because you have something that is funding it. And one thing I would like to mention is that, many people are fond of saying, oh, I'm into music, and they are doing nothing. I don't know how that works. Some people do it, but it leads people to a life of struggle. It leads a lot of people to a life of struggle, because before your music starts yielding, it takes some time. You have to eat. You have to live. You have to live a good life. You have to pay bills before your music starts paying good money back. Because sometimes in fact, when your music starts paying, that's when you would know that, I think I have to do something else. Because, for example, I would say, I'll use Spotify for an example. I think Spotify would pay 0.000, because it's 3 zeros, 0.00051 or something per stream. So for you to earn $5, $0.005 per stream. So for you to earn 500, let me even start from 50. For you to earn $50 on your song, on a song, it means that about 10,000 people, 10,000 streams. You must have gotten 10,000 streams on that song. So, I hope what I'm saying does make a lot of sense. So before your music starts paying itself, it's a long time. It's a long time, and you would have done a lot of work. But most people think things will just happen. Things will just happen, and then no, it doesn't work that way. So you have to have something that you're doing. I work full-time. I still work full-time. Yeah, I still work full-time. I work 37 hours per week, and yet I still do my music, because I know that the music for now cannot pay my bills. I have to pay bills. I have to pay my electricity bills. I have to pay my house rent. I have to pay, a lot of things. So who is going to do that for me if I'm doing music alone? Right? So, let's take note of that. Yeah. Also, I'll just rush up on the rest of the two. So I've talked about, writing and recording high quality music. I've spoken about claiming your artist profile. And the last one I just finished speaking about was learning how to do things by yourself. For example, production, arts and design, blogging, writing, design. You could design your own artwork. You could learn how to design your own artwork, so that instead of paying somebody else to design your artwork, this is something that you would always use, you will always need. Why don't you just learn how to work on Canva, how to use Photoshop? Right, so I'll go on to the next point now. The fourth one will be develop a content strategy so that you can always show up on your social media. Yeah. Develop a content strategy. Have something, have a message. I told somebody, I was speaking with somebody, I say, God has given everyone a message. You have a message to the world. You have a message to the world. So if you're singing, if you're a singer, there's something you're singing about. There's the message you want to pass across to the world. So what is it? Have you searched yourself? What message has God given to me? What message am I giving to the world? So it's based on that message. It's based on that, that information, that content that you have, that you pick every day, that wakes you up every day, that gives you that passion every day to show up on your social media. I mean, what's the point of releasing the song and nobody knows on your social media? People following you on Instagram or Facebook does not even know that you've released a song. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of even release, or maybe you released a song, and since the day you released that song, nobody heard anything. In fact, people are looking for you everywhere on Facebook, like, is this guy still alive? They're asking, like, is this guy still alive? Why? Because nobody has heard from you for a very long time. Nobody has heard of you for a very long time. But God has given you a message. You have a message. Why don't you, apart from your song? Yes. Sometimes you post your song. Sometimes you talk about your song. Sometimes you talk about your lyrics. Sometimes you talk about the things that inspire you. Sometimes you talk about, anything. Sometimes you could even talk about your day. You could talk about your day and help somebody get over something, in their mind too. So develop a content strategy so that, you always show up. When you show up, and when you keep showing up and people see you every day, they remember, do you know, I'll cite this example. Do you know that 3 weeks or about a month after I've released a particular song recently, one of my friends, my own very, very, very friends, didn't even know. No, I think she knows. She knows, but she has not even gone to stream the song. So until about 3 weeks later, she was like, do you know, I've not even listened to the song, but because I saw your post now, I'm just going to go and stream it. So you can imagine if it's just the one day or the 1 week, the first week that I released that song, that, I just gave up on it, that everybody has heard, everybody knows now that I've released songs, so let me go and sleep on it. No. Sometimes the song that you released 2 years ago, post it again. Post it again. Remind people that this song is still alive. Post it again. In fact, it might even bless somebody. One of your latest follower, you might just be telling one of your latest followers that, yes, and the person will be like, I never knew that this guy had this song. I never knew that this guy sang this song. I never knew that this person knew, So even if it was 3 years ago that you did that song, post it again. It is your song. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody will. I'm telling you. Put it on your story. Put it on your story. Put it on your on WhatsApp story, on Instagram story, on TikTok story. Talk about it. If you don't talk about it, nobody will. Sometimes people would say, is it only your song that you post? I say, this is my Instagram page. This is my own profile. I determine what shows up there. So why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? So, develop a content strategy so that you can always show up. If you can do lyrical videos of your songs. If you can do official music video, do official music videos of your song. And ask God to give you a special message. One of the ways I show up constantly is the fact that, sometimes God just puts some topics, just some things into my mind, and, He asks me, I just get that urge, that leading, to say something about it, to post, on it. I have a live worship and declaration sessions that I do every week. So like I said, God has given you a message. You have a message for the world. So why don't you just search Search yourself, search your spirit, ask God to lead you and give you a word for your world. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to talk about I think I've even spoken about the two together. Always show up on socials. Always show up on social. So I think I've spoken about that together with develop a content strategy. So, I didn't even know, oh, it's past 5 already. Okay. I'm expecting somebody and I have to go now. So, I hope I've been able to, inspire you to, to do more for yourself as an emerging artist today. I hope you have, I hope you find this, you found, you found this session very useful and very, informative for yourself. And I hope to do more of this. Sometimes it's just, time constraints for me and all of that. But sometimes I feel like I have a lot. I have a lot to, share with people. I have a lot to give back to people that are still coming up. And I'm going to, just put together some topics. I'm going to put together some topics that I believe would really be helpful, will be informative to people, and would schedule sessions like this again and again. Thank you so much for joining me today on Instagram, on TikTok, and I hope you have a pleasant evening, a beautiful, a beautiful weekend, because the weekend is almost done. So I hope you have a beautiful evening as we prepare for another week. So this week, tell yourself, what am I learning to improve my music journey? What am I learning to improve my music journey this week? And write it down and follow it through. Thank you. Again, my name remains Oluwatoyin Oyekon. I'm officially known musically as Toyin, Tohyen, and you can follow me on all socials, and on all digital music platform. You would find me there. Just type in Tohyen, and I hope you go stream my songs. I hope you go and enjoy those songs. Thank you, and have a blessed evening. Thank you. Bye. Go and enjoy those songs. Thank you, and have a blessed evening. Thank you. Bye.